Hello and welcome to this week's Football Talk podcast. It's episode 133. Can you believe it? I'm Dave and I'm your host this week. It's your chance to sit back, get comfortable, and we'll bring you up to date on this week's football. We'll be talking news. I'm going to get my brain challenged in a Panini-themed quiz. Unfortunately, that is the sticker book and not the sandwich. Toasted sandwich, because I'd probably do better. We'll preview the weekend's Premier League football. Then finally, I send Josh an unsolicited Wick pick for him to stare blankly at during the Wikifiles. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, and on YouTube and Spotify so you don't miss out. We're here every weekend at 10 a.m, even on those pesky international breaks. Now, over to my co-host all the way in the UK. It's Josh Cool. How are you doing, sir?
I'm alright, thank you. I enjoyed your panini clip. And paninis have suddenly, they were popular like, around when we were at uni, kind of like 10 years ago. They were super popular. Every place you went to, but they've almost kind of
died out.
A bit out of fashion now, aren't they?
They have, and I don't understand why, because they're still really good. If I had one now, I reckon it would be cheese and ham panini. Oh, I reckon it'll be cracking.
Do you know what? My best memory of eating a panini is we all have those.
We've all got them. Yeah.
Yeah. So my wedding night, got back to my room, and obviously I've been doing a lot of dancing, a lot of drinking, and I'd also, I think, broken my foot trying to do the worm when I have no physical strength to do that. But I got back, and the hotel where we had our wedding, they'd left a plate of food for me, and one of it was, this was before I was celiac, obviously, or knew I was celiac, a panini, mozzarella, basil, sun-dried tomato, like melted panini, ate it on the bed. Absolutely outstanding stuff. Oh, I can still taste it. I can still taste the mozzarella.
Unbelievable. I was always a fan of a meatball panini, meatball cheese panini.
That would be my Subway order. I'm not panini, but in a similar vein, the kind of elongated bread, the meatball marinara sub. I love it. Yeah, that's with extra cheese. I mean, well,
do you miss it?
What's your favourite
cheese?
Miss it? What bread? Yeah. Or gluten? Oh my goodness, do I?
Yeah.
It's always the stuff. I can't have KFC, for example, but I've been known when I get my hair cut, there's a KFC nearby. I've been known to just park around the corner, so I get to walk past the extractor fans and sniff a bit of KFC. I'm like, oh yeah, give me that. Oh yeah, straight in there, yeah. Oh,
unbelievable, unbelievable. That ridiculous. Right, football. We'll start with some news, and well, Bayern Munich have done well, haven't they?
When haven't they done well?
Yeah, good question.
In 1999?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was going to say that.
We got them. Yeah, suck it, Bayern.
Yeah, I'd say, they've always, even then, getting to a Champions League final is good, isn't it? So.
I should know that. Yeah, getting to a Champions League final is pretty much as good as winning.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But 6 trophies now. I saw you had a stat for the manager, which is like he's only lost 5 games and won 6 trophies, is it? Yeah. So
that's pretty big. Keep that the trophies above games lost. He's doing pretty well. I'd say. It's not normally a stat that's rolled out for managers, but keeping that the trophies above games lost is incredibly impressive.
Yes.
And also the rumours this week that Dayot Upamecano is going to choose Bayern.
It's done.
When will it end?
It's done, isn't it? Apparently, they've just said they're going to pay the release fee, and it's all going to be done. And they're the only club that could match the how would you phrase it? Requests from his agent to for what he wants to be paid and everything. Everyone else is sort of trying to negotiate, and Bayern just went, "Here's the release fee. Here's everything he wants in terms of wages and contract."
He was my dream signing for Spurs centre back. Obviously centre back's a bit of an issue. We'll talk about Spurs a bit later on the FA Cup review, but he would have been my dream. So I'm such a big fan, and he's gone. And obviously it was a bit of a pie in the sky type dream, but you can all dream.
Yeah, he was linked to United for a long time. I never really saw it happening. I've always seen him be a.
That would be 2 marauding forward centre backs, though. That would be insane.
Yeah, I mean, I would sign him to replace Maguire, not play next to him. But yeah.
Well, you can't be signing a player to replace an £18 million centre back. And then you kind of that's just disgusting behaviour, Dave. If I'm honest, disgusted at that.
Yeah, but
£18 million centre back, and you're replacing him.
It's not.
No, that player is replaced when he retires. Harry Maguire's going to be your centre back forevermore.
I know, and it upsets me.
You can't have an £18 million centre back who's not very good. Well, he's okay. No one's going to buy him. You can't be phasing that by a buyout.
Oh, Josh, why'd you have to say that? Forevermore. Yeah. But anyway, back to Bayern. Yes, back to Bayern.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of the Club World Cup. To be honest, it crept up on me.
Yeah.
It crept up on me. I shared the tweet. Did you see the video I shared of the
penalty?
To the penalty. Yeah. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I likened it to how you feed a child. You go fast, slow, and then straight into the hands.
It was ridiculous, that penalty ran up. Absolutely ridiculous. But the Club World Cup final was postponed, wasn't it, because of COVID, which is why it's now. So, yeah, they've won.
Yes. It's not exactly. I mean, when we're talking major trophies, we cannot include the Club World Cup.
But, and I agree with you. You can't. No, I agree with you. You can't. I don't think you can count it as a major trophy. But it is the world champions. It is. You are the best team because it's yearly, isn't it? Yeah. That's the thing. It's meant to be in December, so it's meant to be the end of the calendar year, and you are determined as the world champions for that year.
When was the last time a European side entered it and didn't win it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll Google it.
That's the problem I have with it. It's just not competitive.
No, but this is the thing as well, isn't it? It's like I reckon the South American teams or the other continental teams that enter it probably is a major tournament for them because. Well, someone from Brazil won it recently, actually, didn't they?
So we're back at 2012 was the last, and recently beat Chelsea.
Yeah, recently. That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's only 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah. But for them it probably was major. I don't know. I still think that if you're a player winning that, you would be very happy to win it. Would you rather win? Would you rather win the? It's a bit different for you because you're in a League Cup final. But would you rather win?
I don't know if you're about to insult or compliment me. I don't know how this is going.
Would you rather win the World Club Cup trophy or the League Cup? Because to win the World Club Cup, you have to be in the Champions League.
I obviously have a Club World Cup because we'd have won a Champions League to do that.
Well, no, not anymore. Because the runners-up for the Champions League are also going to qualify for the next one after this one.
Well, still, I'd had some joy leading up to that. Whereas,
so that's why I think it still has to be classed as a bigger trophy than the League Cup.
No, the stuff that goes before it is by the by. That's happened. That is distinct. This is then. It's almost unnecessary. It's just an unnecessary money spinner. Get it out of the game. Cut it out.
It's to decide who's the best team in the world.
We all know it's the European side.
We all know it's Bayern Munich. You don't need to have a competition to say it. So, yes, but well done, Bayern. Yeah, 6 trophies in a year, technically, because it was all 2020 stuff. But, they just look phenomenal.
I mean... getting better and...
The problem... it's not a problem. The interesting thing I see is that players... Are they ever going to be a club that are affected by their best players getting older? Or do they just go and then hoover up the best talent in the Bundesliga? Are we then saying the Bundesliga is one of the best leagues in the world because Bayern Munich buy all the best players?
Well, that's a bit of a situation. Like, you used to have it in, say, Scotland, and Man United to a certain extent in the Premier League, didn't they? They used to just... It's the fact that they can buy from their rivals because they are... Like the Bundesliga players know that is the way to win the title, to get Champions League.
It's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle of that league, like Man United was in.
Of a Bundesliga player, and so they have the incredible talent in the league, which means that they have an incredibly good side. Whereas you look at Rangers Celtic, they have the best players in the league, but the league's not good enough now.
Yeah.
Manchester United are now not at the pinnacle because of how it was maybe mismanaged and misowned. And therefore, they don't have that. The kind of Bayern Munich, they're not the Bayern Munich of the Premier League. But yeah, it's they've in such a fortunate position. Obviously constructed, it's not luck, but now they find themselves in the league fantastic, them fantastic, and they can just, for not exceedingly large sums, can buy players which increase their.
Yeah.
I mean, one, they'll hit the ground running in the league, and then 2, they're also some of the best players in the world. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, because I only asked that because obviously Lewandowski's getting older. He's what, 31 now? 30, 31, I think, Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Ribéry recently retired. They didn't seem to have a plan replacing him, and Robben. Left. He didn't retire. Sorry, he went to Fiorentina. Robben left as well. They didn't really seem to have trouble replacing him. Is Lewandowski one of those, like Lewandowski and like Thomas Muller? Are they players they're going to struggle to replace, or do you think they've already got?
No, you thought that Philip Lahm was going to be hard to replace. Then up steps an almost identical replacement in Joshua Kimmich. It's
true.
Like,
Very true.
I mean, they've got Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, so I don't know what you're worried about. Who's had a strange.
He's had a brilliant career. We've mentioned him before.
He's got last two clubs are PSG and Bayern Munich, having had Stoke City before that. It's almost like Stoke's the anomaly, which is strange because he did nothing. Do great at Stoke, but yeah. Obviously, like David Alaba, a legend there, is probably going to be leaving this summer. To go, it seems like by maybe a kind of Real Madrid, which would be good because he's always been a kind of a bit of a mystical character. Like he's been so good and so well spoken of. I don't watch exceeding amounts of Bundesliga, and in football games we play, he's always been like highly regarded. It'd be nice to see him in a different league because I think he's probably been Bundesliga for
I think so. Yeah, I think he's
maybe a bit of in Austria before he's Austrian.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it'll be good. It'll be interesting to see him in a different setting. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Just speaking of kind of league leaders, obviously after last week's episode, we had Liverpool versus Manchester City.
We did.
Well, just touch on this. We obviously had Spurs and West Brom. Spurs, just resounding victory there. That's fine. Phil Foden for me is what I want to talk about here. This is that player. We'll do it on an international break, but I really want to have a look at England's setup and how it can work because there is talent there. Phil Foden is so talented. You've got Jack Grealish, who is sexy.
That's not the word I saw coming out of your mouth.
Footballer. He's just the football he plays, the way he moves is just.
He's the rebel as well, Jack Grealish. He's the rogue rebel that.
Dude, he'll crash his car. Who cares? But I just think there's some talent there. Harry Kane spearheading it, but Phil Foden, we often picked up before he kind of settled into the side. We were like, is Pep doing the right thing with Phil Foden? Is he going to make it? Turns out, Pep knew he was doing.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Who would have thought the elite manager in the world would know what he's doing? And Liverpool now 10 points off City. Well, 13 if Klopp's going to correct you. You see that? There's an interview and he's a bit spiky when he loses, and so I was interviewing going, so you're now 10 points off Man City. It's like, you should prepare for your job properly. You haven't prepared properly. They're 13 points off. It's like, well, they're not because there's a game in hand and it's against the mighty Spurs next game, so who knows what will happen. But yeah, he got a bit spiky because he's a bit of a sore loser. Are we talking City for the title?
Oh yeah, I mean, what is it? 5 points ahead of Man United with a game in hand, I think it is. So yeah, I can't see them. Well, we talked about it last week. I think they're back to the marauding, steamrollering, getting a result.
Yeah, but they now have the record amount of wins in a row in English League football history, having beaten Swansea midweek, and it's strikerless as well, which is amazing. Like Jesus is in and out, but it's like Aguero's not there. I mean, Aguero and De Bruyne aren't in the side.
I know. It's frightening.
It's unfathomable. It's like Spurs. I was crying about Spurs last year when Kane and Son were injured. And Man City obviously have a better squad, but you'd have thought it had a bit more of an impact. But
yeah, it is. How do you feel like talking about Man City? How do you think Nathan Ake's feeling? Because not much has happened there, is it?
No, he's had a bit. I mean, for a guy who is so consistent and so regular in the Bournemouth lineup, it happens so frequently. Maybe it's a change in, the physical demands of training when you move to a more elite club, or nervous energy. But he's been injured, hasn't he? So that can happen. He started off playing quite well. Did he play before Ruben Dias was even signed? I think there was they're now just blessed with elite centre-backs all over. So Ruben Dias, you think, would be a mainstay. Stones has come in next to him, been great. Laporte, everybody was talking about before his injury, was the greatest thing, like up there with Van Dijk. And then you've got Nathan Ake, who's this kind of homegrown talent, but which was probably why City signed him overall. But again, really quite a good player and can blossom there. But finally, after a few £1 million spent, they think like they might have solved centre-back issues.
They do, and
A nice balance as well. 2 left footers, 2 right footers. What a lovely
oh
balance.
yeah, I do love
Like
that.
Thanos was deciding that side.
That's an obscure reference to put in there. No,
Thank
yeah,
you.
impressive. I mean, is there anything else in the news that you want to touch on? I mean, there was a little bit that I want to sort
Go
of.
on.
It's,
Go on.
Mourinho, right? Mourinho.
Yes,
What?
my favourite current Spurs manager.
What is happening with? It's over, isn't it? The end of this season. It's not like it's. He's already pissing off the players. Him and Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale tweets to say, "Great training session, feeling fit and ready." Reporter brings it up in a press conference, and Mourinho's like, "You don't know because it's not. He had a scan. He had feelings that he couldn't play because his feelings weren't right." So what is it? Is he training well and he's fit and he feels good, or is it Mourinho doesn't want to pick him and it's?
Well, I would say that I highly doubt that Bale was a Mourinho signing.
Agreed.
I would probably side with the manager in terms of picking players and being physically fit. You know, Gareth Bale's had his history. He's not looked the sharpest. I would also doubt that Bale's tweeting his own stuff, and his agent probably is just trying to just keep everything kind of looking tickety-boo from the outside, looking in. I mean, to be honest with you, at this moment in time, I'd take Mourinho's attention directed at Gareth Bale rather than directed at Dele Alli.
Okay.
If it's one or the other, I think Ali is got a lot more to give over the next, say, 5 years to Spurs than Gareth Bale would. Gareth Bale's 5 years is behind him.
Yeah, very true.
Dele Alli can still be a fantastic player for us in the future if he regains his confidence. I mean, didn't quite go well midweek when he came on, but yeah, overall, Gareth Bale's only going to play better for Spurs if he plays.
Yeah.
And if he has a run of games and gets confidence and gets fitness, I just don't see it happening. I don't see Mourinho's not that kind of manager to trust in someone who he's unsure of. He needs to be completely have faith in them, and I don't think he's ever going to get that faith in Gareth Bale. So I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
Another manager may be willing, like a Harry Redknapp, for example. Probably has asked less of a player.
Yeah. Okay.
I imagine he's played players who've been drunk, who've been not trained and stuff like that. I imagine he's like he's a feel manager.
Yeah.
He'll go, I have a feeling he's going to do something, and therefore he'll put Gareth Bale in, keep playing him, and he'll regain his confidence there. But Mourinho, you need to prove it that you're going to be committed to it, and that's not what Gareth Bale's going to be able to do.
Would Poch be playing Gareth Bale? If Levy bought in,
I think the situation would be the same. I think the situation would be the same.
Okay.
They would have had a pretty similar outcome.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Maybe had a few more chances of playing a bit more attacking football, but I still think he demands the physical. I would say we're much more physically fit under Pochettino than we are Mourinho, and the demands of the players are high. And I still don't think Gareth Bale's body would have computed.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I mean,
but I would also say, in this, there's a lot of poking. The media know that Mourinho's a bear, and they'll poke him and get him to roar. And other managers haven't shown that behaviour previously, so they don't get poked. So Mourinho's brought it on himself previously by his behaviour, but there's a lot more prodding from the media to try and get a story because they know that one may well come. Whereas a lot of Spurs seem to be talked about in this player's not playing, that player's not playing. Whereas, I mean, does anyone speak about, I don't know, like Juan Mata not playing for Man United? I don't know, does anyone speak about...
I think everyone's still surprised Juan Mata's at United. So, yeah.
But I think there's players who don't get in the side and other clubs and aren't really mentioned.
Yeah, I just think it is Mourinho. It's the spiral that it comes with every Mourinho job. It's just come a season earlier. This is the season when he should be winning you and challenging for the league and winning trophies.
So Europa League still
you're not going to win
going?
that. Because as you reminded me before we went live, Man United is still in it, because I'd completely forgotten.
Current record this season against Man United is 6 goals, scored 1 goal, conceded, smashed you off the park at your home ground, so not fearing you in there. And I think you'd fear us if we got drawn against. You would hate to be drawn against Spurs in the Europa League with Mourinho in charge. Absolutely detest it. Am I right?
No, I think we'd beat you in the Europa League. I think we'd beat you in the Europa League.
But obviously, at the League Cup final, it's all about, it's a one game, it's getting up for it. We have a semi-okay, probably better than most record against City, probably going out the window today. But yeah, there is definitely chance of winning trophies this year. Definitely chance.
Yeah. I still think it's just it's not when it was announced to Mourinho and Spurs.
I'm clinging on to the hope, David.
The hope that kills you, Josh. I'm trying to put a trampoline under you for when that you eventually do let go of the window, sort of thing. So trampoline. But yeah, so I just don't see it. When Spurs appointed Mourinho, I was like, that it's just not going to work. It's not a good fit.
Again, that's Levy running the club. Levy has wanted him for so long, he got him. Levy wanted Bale because it's that big signing, which is reasonably cheap for a big signing, big name. That's what he's doing. And I'm not against it for it. I'm indifferent to it.
Yeah, okay.
Because it may still come
Okay,
on.
so now...
Levy's got a lot of things
right now, Mourinho walks. He leaves. He just goes. He's like, I've had enough. Levy's pissed me off. Who's your go-to manager? You're Daniel Levy. Who are you going for?
Stopgap to the end of the season.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
I'm going.
Your choice.
This is straight off the top of the bonds. This isn't a pre-play. I'm going Rafa end of the season.
Why, really? From one defensive pragmatic manager to another?
Yeah, all right. Harry. What do you want from me, Dave?
No, fine. So Rafa's your stopgap.
No, because honestly, my dream. I don't mention this last week. My dream would have been Nagelsmann, and Nagelsmann to go, hey, Ruben Makano, come to Spurs. It's great, and we'd all been happy. We'd have a hug, and it would have been great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, you.
I think again, you want that kind of elite manager. And he'll be happy to do a kind of end of season job.
You heard it here first. Josh's dream is that Rafa Benitez manages Tottenham.
Not a dream. Not a dream.
Got to try and put words in your mouth, haven't I? So, yeah, I've got to poke you like a bear, like Mourinho.
You are going to poke me like
so
a bear.
there we go. Right, let's leave the news there then. We'll move on. We could have had a very good segue into the FA Cup review because that involves Spurs and Mourinho, but we won't. We're going to go to the quiz. So Josh, give us the intro.
Ooh, la 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 la. It's quizzing time.
It is.
It's Panini Quizzini. Hashtag right wrong.
I like that.
So, for those who don't know, this week I bought a Panini album under the guise that it was for my children. They're 4 and 6, not fully into football. They kind of like watching it every now and then, like kicking about in the garden. But I thought, you know what? It's probably a bit young for me. I'm more using it to teach maths and numbers and things like that. And so I got a big pack of stickers. I have 100 packs, so 500 stickers. We've been working our way through them. On the back of each sticker is a little fact. I'll put these are the kind of stickers there. This is my fact. And I thought, wow, what better way to use these than to quiz Dave on these facts?
Ready-made quiz. You haven't even had to put any effort into this other than put it into Excel and type it.
I had to buy stickers, peel off stickers, organise them, and filter out the ones that Dave doesn't know because I'm not sure he'll know the captain of Kits and St Nevis or St Nevis and Kits, St Kits and Nevis, the captain of that. So,
Romain Sawyers, West Brom.
Romain Sawyers. Oh yeah, how do you know that, Dave?
Because you tested me to see how my knowledge was of Panini quizzes.
And you know what? I've given you a little bit of a help here. So you notice the numbers are somewhat erratic down the left-hand side.
Oh yeah, okay.
This is their associated Panini album sticker number. So they're effectively in club order, but you don't know what club's what. But you'll work it out as you go through. So we shall start at the start, David. Right, question number 1. Before they adopted the current nickname, this side was known as the Dolphins.
It's 81, which means it's going to be beginning of the alphabet. And I'm drawn to maybe Chelsea or Fulham or. I'm gonna go. I'd say Bournemouth, but they're not obviously in it because they got relegated. Who is that gonna be? You're gonna have to rush me for an answer. I'm gonna go. The Dolphins. Chelsea.
Incorrect.
Oh, God. What a terrible start.
We'll move on and we'll go
move
through
on.
it afterwards. Okay. This player was the first to win consecutive Premier League titles with different clubs.
Now, I thought it was Mark Schwarzer, but I don't think he's with a club anymore. So I'm going to go N'Golo Kante.
N'Golo Kante.
I swear Schwartz had done it. Because he was back up for someone else and then...
It was Leicester Chelsea as well, wasn't it him? Yeah, I just got a feeling...
He might not have played enough to get a medal or something.
May not have medals, I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah, good. I've got one, 50%.
Sometimes I do give you a clue of a club as well. I've had to try and I don't want to soften it. I don't want you flailing around like a tortoise on his back. This Chelsea player is the youngest player ever to make his debut in a competitive match for England.
This Chelsea player is the youngest player ever to make his debut in a competitive match for England. Mason Mount?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't really know
Having never
ages of Chelsea's players. I'm really...
I think you know this player's a bit young in English, though. I think Mason Mount, I in my head, he's a little bit of a late bloomer. Probably doesn't qualify for the under-21s anymore.
Okay.
Okay. Having never taken a penalty before joining Crystal Palace, this player is now their top.
Luka Milivojevic.
Wasn't it? Never taken a penalty before.
That is bizarre because he's got a very good record for penalties as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Liverpool's Arseman describes assistant manager for short describes this player as the team's lighthouse as he guides us.
I mean, gotta be like Van Dijk.
Van Dijk?
Yeah, I'll go Van Dijk.
No, I didn't include. I got him. He's in the book. His one was that he's the fourth Dutchman to represent the red side of Liverpool.
Oh right, okay.
Quick question: who do you think the other
Gigi
three?
Wijnaldum.
Sander Westerveld.
Yeah. Dirk Kuyt.
God,
God, you should have given me that as a question.
Straight off the bottom. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
This player's father and brother both played international football for Brazil.
Oh.
You got that wrong, by the way. Yeah, it's not
cheers,
that
yeah. Thanks for rubbing that in.
Yeah.
This player's father and brother have both played international football for Brazil. I mean, I'm going to go Firmino. Because it's the same sort of numbering, so it's probably still at Liverpool.
Incorrect.
As in, it's not at Liverpool, or it's...
No, that bit's correct, but it's not Firmino.
Who's a Brazilian they've got in their team that isn't Firmino?
Oh, that's where the question gets interesting.
All right.
Question
Okay. Yeah.
448. You can go around again for half points. This Newcastle player has a twin brother called Victor, who is also a footballer with Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid.
I mean, I can only think of one Spaniard that plays for Newcastle, and that's Manquillo. So,
Manquillo.
Victor Manquillo doesn't sound as good as Javier Manquillo.
No, he sounds like he should own a restaurant.
Yeah, he should.
He may well do.
All right, good.
Question number 531. In case you're joining us, we have not questioned him 530 times before this. Right, he won his first cap in September 2020 when he started in Spain's 4-0 win over Ukraine. Not even giving you a club
No, you're
here.
not. Oh, that's... I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to pass. I'm really trying to think. Just give me a couple more minutes. Give me 20 more minutes.
What are you thinking, Dave?
Clubs.
You think you got a club
I'm going
in
for
mind?
clubs. I'm trying to think through clubs about.
Well, so you know that 448 is Newcastle. So
Yeah.
what comes after Newcastle?
Oh. Oldham.
No, Oldham not in the league. P.
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth
Yeah.
not in the league. QPR aren't. Rotherham aren't. Sheffield United are.
You give.
Southampton are.
Oh. Romeo. Oh bollocks.
They jumped the bottom half there. It's not Southampton. 586. This player was named Hammer of the Year following his first season at West Ham in 2018-19 season.
Antonio Valencia.
Sorry?
I always call him Antonio Valencia. Mikel Antonio is what I meant. That's 3 times I've done that on the podcast now. I meant Mikel Antonio.
Not Mikel Antonio.
Okay.
You're currently on 3 correct answers.
So I need a lot of half points here.
This player has been club captain since 17-18 season, and I'll give you a clue here. It's for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Connor Cody.
Connor Cody. Right. Let's go back round them, shall we, Dave?
Unbelievable, this quiz. Go back to writing your own questions. I'm better at them.
Right. So this, before they adopted their current nickname, this side were known as the Dolphins. I'll give you a clue. Dolphins and the sea, and being a seaside club is a clue.
But they're really early on in the...
Yeah, maybe they could be there to be.
Why can't I think of anyone that begins with the letter B? Oh. Bournemouth got relegated, didn't they? I'm not imagining that.
They did, yes, yeah. We're set on that. Bournemouth have been relegated. Sorry, Bournemouth fans, we're just aware of that. They have been relegated.
Come on, Dave, don't be an absolute idiot.
A question for one of our players was, this player likes to relax before a game by reading a book.
What Premier League team begins with B?
One which had a nickname called the Dolphin. And now, I'm not going to give you a point here, but now my nickname is the Seagull.
Oh, Brighton, for God's sake. We were talking about them last week, about how you said they're now coming more to the forefront of your knowledge. Like, you can appreciate them. And I said, they're always a team I forget about. So there you go.
Well, that's... Okay, so this Chelsea player is the youngest player ever to make his debut in a competitive match for England. A clue, he is a winger.
Callum Hudson-Odoi?
Callum Hudson-Odoi. Well done, Dave.
Bloody hell, this is tough.
The player who's the lighthouse is Brazilian.
Fabinho.
Fabinho. The player's father and brother play international football for Brazil. This player does not play international football for
Thiago.
Thiago.
Because I was going to have Fabinho for that answer, but him being 3-6-2 then made 3-6-4 another midfielder, so I was going to go for Thiago before you gave me the clue.
This player won his first cap for Spain in September 2020. Plays for Spurs.
Plays for Spurs? What Spaniards do you have?
I'm holding these, not actually reading off them because they're in a different order.
Right. What Spaniards do Spurs have? Who's good?
Very good. Out injured at the moment.
Oh, that doesn't help me then. No, pass. Nothing's coming to mind.
Sergio Reguilon.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And this player was named Hammer of the Year after his first season.
Declan Rice. Polish. Oh, Polish? Thomas Susek, or however you pronounce it.
No, that is probably Czech, I imagine.
Fabianski.
Fabianski.
Wow. That was terrible.
I didn't think it was that tough.
It is.
Dave, I think you made that look harder than it should be.
I mean, yeah, Brighton should have got that. Should have remembered there was a team beginning with B in the league.
Yeah, I reckon if I'm giving you a tip that there's a team beginning with B in the Premier League, I reckon you should probably get that.
Yeah, probably.
I also reckon they should have kept the nickname the Dolphins.
Rather than the Seagulls.
Albeit, I'd say Seagulls are more popular in Brighton than Dolphins.
Yeah, probably.
Probably see a few more Seagulls.
Probably. So, well done, Josh. I mean, what was my final tally?
I'm generous, 60% there.
50%? 60%? Better. That's fine.
Yeah, you only got 0 on Reguilon and Brighton. There's 4 half marks and
take it.
And 4.
Take it. Love it.
It's definitely going to say that. I mean, I feel like I've actually just made you cheat a quiz there. I
feel like I've got that back as an exam result, and I'm like, I'm not going to appeal that. Someone's made a mistake there. I'll have it. So yeah, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Good. I do think I prefer your actual questions.
Well, that's tough because there's probably another 500 of those questions that we've got in the bank. So that's going to see me through for the next 50
Excellent.
weeks.
Good. Look forward to it. Unbelievable. Gonna struggle. Right. Do you want a preview or do you want a quick chat around the FA Cup first?
Quick chat around the FA Cup because I feel like I need to...
Yeah, lead us away then because you had a stonking game. You attacked. So, yeah.
Yeah, we attacked. So handbrake was off. And do you want to shoot? I'm not sure I enjoyed it.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, we should have absolutely thrashed them. We were so much better. Then suddenly, in a 6 minute spell, they score 3 goals, and two of them you can go. The errors there are awful. So Højbjerg at the centre of it, and so first one he gives the ball away right outside his own box, maybe even inside his own box, and then Calvert-Lewin smashes it. Lloris should do it a lot better. 2 errors there. There's a Richarlison goal, then there's a penalty, which honestly, I don't know how that is given as a penalty. No one's even looking. He turns around and the player and a slight tap of ankles, and I just think that's just harsh beyond belief that that's a penalty. Again, versus Højbjerg there. Sigurdsson was a thorn in the side. He had the assists for. He scored a penalty, got 2 assists. He played so slowly to Sigurdsson, but so precise. He annoyed me. But their finishes were absurdly good. Like the Bernard and Richarlison finishes, a whipped across goal, were fantastic. I think we made a mistake not playing Kane from the start. Kane came on and scored his goal, but I don't know. I just think unforced errors are a thing, but I just think with Kane playing from the start, we probably would have taken a few more chances earlier on and maybe put it beyond them. But it was just defensive error after defensive error after defensive error. Like, you can say that there's a reason why Mourinho plays defensively, because he knows that's in the locker, and he knows that will just rear its ugly head, and you don't want that, and so he protects them. And so it's a real tough one. It was a tough one to take, to be honest with you. I watched this, I didn't abstain, and I just was racing in my head all night. I had a bad sleep that night because like that is just poor, really poor. But hey, that's one cup competition done, and well done Everton. I mean, it softened the blow the next day when the draw went out and Man City drew Everton. I was like, well, okay, I'll take that. You'll be always still in the draw. So United v West Ham.
Yeah, decent. Well, no, terrible game.
What?
Decent finish from McTominay. Terrible game.
He's got that in his locker, isn't he? He looks a little bit of a later rival.
Yeah, he's got
quite composed.
Sort of a bit of a Frank Lampard-esque sort of how he gets to the edge of the box late and isn't really tracked and has a decent shot on him. He's done it a couple of times. Arsenal springs to mind when he scored a good goal against Arsenal with it took a slight deflection but went in top corner.
He got a couple against someone. Who did he get a couple against?
Oh, that's a good question. One
of them was like
Wolves, I think. Was it Wolves? I think he scored 2 against Wolves. And then yesterday's the FA Cup game against West Ham was a lovely finish in extra time to get us there. But again, it's very up and down under Solskjaer, and there's times where we just seem to steamroll teams and score like Southampton 9-0, whatever. Those sorts of games where we are creating chance after chance after chance and playing really well. And then there's games like that where we just. It's good because we're still getting a result, but the football on show was terrible. And I don't know. I mean, if I was a West Ham fan, I'd probably be saying that if they had made a bit more of an effort, they would have walked away with a win.
Yeah, because they didn't play full strength.
No,
subs they brought on were a bit.
But you can understand that because Moyes has got them doing really well in the league. But
absolutely,
he must be looking at that thinking that's a wasted opportunity to get through to the next round of the cup. So. Yeah, I mean it was
next round. Obviously, the draw for next round. Leicester away at Leicester for Man United. Not easy.
No, I think that'll be the end of the road potentially for the FA Cup. It all depends how the league's going. If we're still in top 2, I can see him rotating for the FA Cup again. I think Solskjaer, and as a fan, I'd love to win the FA Cup. I'd love to Solskjaer to get that trophy, to have a trophy under his belt. But I also think. Being second in the league is, the windfall money, the reputation sort of boost. For an example, in terms of like you finished second behind Man City, you're ahead of Liverpool. You finished this many points ahead of Liverpool.
You'd rather a second place finish than an FA Cup win. So 4th place FA Cup win, 2nd place lose to Leicester.
With how the league sits now, potentially yes. That's a good question, Josh. That's a great question. And
at 4th place was Liverpool and Chelsea above you.
No, I would no. I'd take 2nd place and lose to Leicester. Yeah. I think I would. If if it was closer, if the league was closer now and we were like just hovering above Chelsea and Liverpool, I know Chelsea are pretty close, but if we're just hovering above Chelsea and Liverpool, I'd probably say 4th place in the FA Cup is fine. But I think that the belief back to the fans, if we finish second 7-8 points ahead of Liverpool, after how well they won the league last season, I think that was a big boost for the club. I do think that's a big boost for the club.
Other ties, we've got Everton, Man City.
Man City to win. The form they're in, Man City to win.
We have the South Coast Derby. We have a team beginning with B who were in the Premier League. You know them well,
Bournemouth.
Versus Southampton. It's a good. I mean, Southampton have been on a bad run, and it's been going a bit poor for them. Obviously, a decent start. That would be nice. Is it going to be a nice distraction or an unwanted distraction?
I think it'll be nice. I think Southampton will win it.
I can't get relegated, really. I mean, it's almost feasible for anybody other than the current bottom 3 getting relegated. So I think that'd be quite nice for them.
Agreed.
And Chelsea, well, that's a strange one as well. Chelsea, Sheffield United. That's almost like that is a nice distraction for Sheffield United because it almost seems like a done deal there.
Sheffield United are going to beat Chelsea?
No, done deal with Sheffield United.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So it's a nice distraction for them to.
I was going to say, yeah. So it'll be a welcome distraction for them in terms of the game. I still think they'll lose, but yeah. So, be a distraction all you want, but you're going to lose.
So what's your current prediction for FA Cup winner?
Probably Man City. I just can't see them. I can't see you guys beating them in the League Cup. The way they're playing, I can't.
You actually picked Chelsea as the start of the season,
yeah. No, Man City. If I could change it now, I'd be picking Man City to win everything. Treble.
Yeah, I had Spurs down as FA Cup winner.
Yeah.
I also had us down as League Cup winner, and Man City. Man City down as League Cup winner.
Oh no!
I just win in the Europa League. Still can happen.
Well, we'll see.
All right.
But yeah, interesting. So the preview then, Josh. The preview. Have you got your derby name sorted?
No, I haven't. I normally do it as a review. We can try and do that live if we want, Dave.
Okay. Leicester Liverpool. Have you got one? Springs to mind. The Danny Ward derby.
Danny Ward.
The goalkeeper, Danny Ward. Yeah.
League one. Yeah.
It's all right. I've done it. I don't need another one.
Yeah,
Paul Konchesky derby.
Yeah, he's coming on. I'm going to leave this to you.
What are you thinking? We
touched on
the Brendan Rodgers derby.
Leicester.
That's the obvious one. Yeah.
James Justin's out for the season, which is a bit of a loss for Leicester. And I just realised that in looking at it, that Leicester really don't have. They love a fullback who can play either side. So Castagna can play either side, James Justin can play either side, even Pereira can play either side. I mean, Push, they're probably going to have Albrighton and maybe a wing back either side. They love a versatile, and probably for a side who doesn't have all the money in the world, it's nice to have versatility in the squad, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you'd imagine it's planned like that, the recruitment to help them out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah. But a bit thin at the back. I think Fafana's out as well. I'm going for goals in this match. I think we'll see a lot of goals, but I would say I'm going to go for a score draw. Is how I'm going to.
Okay, a score. Have you got a score of that draw? Are you predicting a 2-2? So yeah, okay, a Desmond. Desmond, interesting. I'm thinking. I think Liverpool are capitulating, and I think Brendan Rodgers is going to take the top shoot. Isn't it? It's something like Liverpool have kept Jamie Vardy quiet for 7 games in a row, but before that he was one of the record scorers against them in the league. And I think he's back and he's going to score. And I'm going to go 1-0. I think Leicester will just get a goal and sit back, and Liverpool won't be able to break them down. 1-0 Leicester. Yeah, 1-0 Leicester.
Okay. Crystal Palace Burnley. What we got there is a derby. Who played for Burnley for Crystal Palace?
Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah. Vale Bardsley. Did he play for Palace? I don't think he did.
He did. Ian Wright.
He's going Ian Wright. He's gone bold with Ian Wright. Okay, I'll give it. I'm not even going to check. I'll give it you.
I just wanted to mention Crystal Palace quickly. This is a list of people who are out of contract at Crystal Palace at the end of the season.
We've discussed this before.
Honestly, I just want to highlight again because they're still out of contract. Roy Hodgson, Gary Cahill, James McCarthy, Wayne Hennessy, Mamadou Sakho, Christian Benteke, Van Arnholt, Townsend, Dan, Kelly, Klein, Ward, Schlupp, Wickham, Mitchell.
Ridiculous.
They're out of contract.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
They left with like 10 players after that.
Yeah. It's ridiculous that it's got to February. I was going to say January, but February. I think they're.
Obviously, there's financial uncertainty with pandemic and things like that, and players maybe thinking they've got overstating their value. But I don't know. Maybe it's Roy Hodgson's the key. I don't know.
I think they're lucky that other English teams aren't allowed to discuss terms with other players, because I don't think that those sort of players you rattle off, there's not going to be foreign interest other than MacArthur from Scotland. I would suggest going that way.
Yeah, you got Sacco, maybe a bit of French interest, Benteke maybe somewhere, and Van Aanholt maybe, but yeah, and they also are aging.
Yeah.
We picked up when we spoke at the start of the season about my theory that within the next 2 seasons Palace will be relegated, because I think if Roy Hodgson goes and they lose a number of his players, that is a tough ask for any new manager coming in. But there are a lot of older players, so then it'll be 1-year deals trying to be negotiated. But that's what my concern about Palace. But today's game, 3:00 kickoff, Palace Burnley. Zaha being out, I'm going nil.
Yeah, I'm going 1-1. I think
1-1. Where are the goals?
I think Burnley will score a classic Burnley. Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, maybe corner, something like that. And I think Palace will be either a really, really scrappy ping pong in the area and it goes in off someone, or Eze will score an absolute belter. Run through a couple of people, ping it top corner, 1-1. Yeah. In fact, I might put a bit of cheeky bet on Eze to score at any time. So, for fun.
Yeah. Okay. But we both think draw. Oh, you think maybe a Palace win?
No, 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. 1-1.
All right. City versus Spurs. The Emmanuel Adebayor, veteran Chorluka.
Yeah.
Ben Thatcher.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. He didn't like Pedro Mendes, did he?
Mendes, yeah.
Horrendous.
I would say Spurs' luck is going to run out here. We've had a pretty lucky run against Man City.
Yep.
Somehow winning matches which we didn't deserve to win, or drawing matches, or even losing matches and going through on goal difference. I would say it's going to come undone.
Okay.
And it might get a bit of a walloping.
A walloping? You think it's going to be...
I think Man City to score 3+ goals.
Interesting, because I'm going 3-0 Man City on this one. So yeah, I could say that Aguero's rumoured to be available, maybe not starting, but he's rumoured to be available because he's done his 14 days, missed 11 games with his COVID thing that he had. So,
of course, yeah.
So because it wasn't an injury, it was COVID. So
yeah, and so he should be getting back up to speed. Yeah, I just think with this one, Man City will just swamp us. It's not going to be a pretty watch for any Spurs fans, so I don't know if any Spurs fans are getting hopes up. It's not going to be pretty. Can
I ask you a question? What do you think Mourinho will pick as your midfield for this game? Like central midfield?
Ndombele, Højbjerg, Sissoko.
Okay. I was wondering if you'd think, Sissoko. I think he'll be Højbjerg, Sissoko more sitting, and then Ndombele to try and charge through the lines.
Yeah, it'll be the standard lineup we had against those bigger sides when we actually fared quite well. Sissoko is just frustrating more and more. Sissoko's afraid of taking the ball in possession, which is pretty bad for a centre fielder.
So we've both predicted Man City big win. So get your money on a draw or Spurs win. So
we are by no means experts. We have the Dolphins versus the Villains.
Bournemouth are playing, are they?
As we all know them. The Dolphins. Brighton, Villa. You got a derby comes to mind?
No, literally, I can't think of anyone that's played.
No, problem is Brighton plays is going to be a tough one.
There probably isn't like an obscure young star who was maybe a Villa academy and then has ended up playing for Brighton, but no one jumps to it.
Yeah, I've got my head. It's like a Luke Moore or Stephen Moore, one of those who play for Brighton. But I think it's going to be quite a good match, good game of football. I think it's going to be quite open, flowing, and quite technically nice to watch. I just think Villa might have a little bit too much for them. I think they'll just I was having a look actually at the fouls won per minute, but by teams, and Villa are streets ahead of everybody else in Villa top 5 leagues. This is on who scored. They win like 16 fouls a match on average, and but if you flip it on its head, it must be the Premier League's quite low foul. Must let it flow, because I think 10 of the bottom 15 sides in all top 5 leagues are English sides.
Okay.
So it's even more pronounced that Aston Villa are winning it when it seems like the league is at a low anyway.
So Jack Grealish must be one of the most fouled players
be contributing to that massively. Yeah, I think it fouled like 5 times a match. Yeah.
So, what have you gone for scores then? What do you reckon? You say Villa just to nick it?
I just think a little tight one, a little tight, 2-1.
Yeah, I've gone 2-1 in my predictions league. I've gone 2-1 Villa, so I think they'll nick it. I think they've got Douglas Luiz coming back in central midfield, which I think helps a lot.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a rest for Marvellous Nakambe.
Yeah, great name as well, Marvellous Nakambe. So, yeah. Next up. Oh, is that it? No.
Well, that's it for today. We'll quickly run through Sunday's matches. So we have Southampton Wolves, the battle of the out of form sides. This is a rematch of the FA Cup match, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I would say probably what neither side wants, a little draw.
Yeah, 1-1. I'm going. I think 1-1 for this one.
Man United away at West Brom, the Johnny Evans derby.
Yeah, the Kieran Richardson derby, Darren Fletcher derby. So quite a few of them. Thomas Kuszczak derby. Lukaku, yeah. Big Sam's team to score a classic Big Sam goal against us, and then us to rally back and win 2-1.
I'd say one of the Ajayi or
Diagne, I think. Diagne, how we pronounce it, yeah. One of them will score, and then they'll score first, and we'll rally back 2-1. 2-1 win. So I'd be more worried if we were playing them at home and they scored first. But yeah, luckily we're away, so we'll win.
Arsenal v Leeds. Obviously, I think Leeds won the home fixture with Pepe getting sent off.
Yes.
Is it Alioski?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's true. I can't think.
Pepe's in a bit better run of form, though, isn't he? So I think he'll hope that doesn't no repeat of that. But I'm interested. I don't know which way Arsenal's going to go.
Arsenal win. Yeah.
They've been a bit unlucky of late with red cards galore, so own goals and I think it's really tough. I'm going Arsenal win, but that is really a sort of feel. I think Arteta's team will keep possession quite well, and they'll play round the press of Leeds, and then it just comes down to whether they score. That's what I think in this game. I think they will. I think they'll keep the ball well. They're going to miss Thomas Partey, which is a huge miss in midfield for them, but I still think 2-1 Arsenal. I don't think it'll be a game for the ages. I think it'll be a bit scrappy. But. Yeah, no Thomas, no Partey for me. It's that's a big miss. So I'm going to go for Leeds to at least get a draw out.
Leeds get a draw, not a win. Leeds get a draw.
No, at least. So it'll be a double chance.
Okay.
Draw, win. Leeds, yeah.
All right.
Finally, then Everton, Fulham. Again, that's got draw written all over it. Fulham are going to draw their way to 18th place. Everton might. They obviously played 120 minutes.
It'll be tough. And
Calvert-Lewin went off injured.
That's the key, isn't it? That's the key. I think we've said before that they struggle with when they try and have to bring in a replacement striker. But again, you look at the Tottenham game, and if they put Richarlison up top and Bernard on the wing.
Yeah, Richarlison, we've spoken about him going off the boil. He actually looked quite dangerous. Grabbed a couple. So maybe I think this will be a draw. I just think the fatigue that Everton have, the lack of kind of winning mentality or ability that Fulham have, I can go for a draw.
2-0 Everton, I've gone for. I think they're going to smash them. I think it'll be 2-0 Everton and they could score more. That's what I'm going with.
I don't see that, but yeah, we'll see.
Monday games very quickly. West Ham, Sheffield United.
West Ham to win.
Okay, Chelsea, Newcastle.
Chelsea to win.
I've gone 2-2, both the home teams in that one. So, yeah. Okay then, let's move on to the Wikifile. I got a Wikifile for you. Hey, so on the screen right now, if you're on YouTube, is the Wikifile for Josh, who looks a little bit perplexed by the whole situation. We do it every week, Josh, so don't worry. Don't worry too much. Yes, I've given it to Josh. With a strange one, he's still playing, or they are still playing. Oh.
All right, we have a standard womb to youth career at Charlton. Played for Charlton 8 times before being snapped up permanently by Arsenal. So 2010-11 they started at Charlton, 8 appearances, a couple of loan spells to Welling and Eastbourne, but then moved permanently to Arsenal, appearing 41 times in total over 8 years, and a couple of loans again out to West Ham. So they had 2 distinct spells at West Ham. So they had West Ham loan, 32 appearances, so most of the season. Then 15-16 season again, they went on loan to West Ham after they must have thought, I don't want him. Okay, I'll have him back. 20 appearances and 2 goals West Ham. But they didn't take him back. 16-17 season must have been back at Arsenal. He didn't have a loan out. That must have been where a number of his appearances came from.
Yep.
But didn't fare too well because he's now going for a Championship loan. So he gone from probably Championship, maybe League One Charlton, to Premier League Arsenal, to Premier League loans. I'm presuming actually, maybe Championship Premier League loans to West Ham. Definitely Championship with Birmingham in 17-18, and now we're at 2019, still playing. Only 11 times thus far.
Yeah, I mean, playing's an interesting word to use there.
Playing, he has not played much at all, so he is 70, 80, 90, probably just over 120 league appearances in his career, which is pretty poor.
Anything coming to mind?
Yes, I've got it, I think. So I just wanted, listeners, I want them to give. I don't want to spoil it for them, but so my thoughts are he's awful.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
He's a right back.
He is.
I'm trying to think of his first name. I've got his last name. I've got a vague memory. He's got some youth international football for Finland or something about.
He has. That was going to be a question that I asked you later on. Yeah.
But then has he made a senior appearance for England now? He's definitely made youth appearances for England.
He has. One senior appearance for England.
Who the heck gave him that cap?
2012.
So Roy then.
Yeah, probably would have been Roy. Yeah. So.
He's always one of those players where I just didn't think he was ever good enough, unfortunately. And he seemed a bit panicked by the whole Arsenal situation. It was tail end of Wenger era where defence wasn't exactly great, but I often felt sorry for him. I felt like he knew he was out of his depth.
Did you see the photo of him in all his Arsenal gear in his bedroom when he was a kid? Did you see that?
Oh, that makes me even more sad. So, but I don't know why he's not getting game time in Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is a bit of a basket case anyway. But this is.
What's his first name? Carl. It is Carl Daniel Jenkinson. Yeah, CDJ to his friends. Very interesting. Yeah, national team. The question I was going to ask is what career path did he take for the national team?
Did he have something? Did he play?
Yeah, so one appearance for England under 17s, 3 appearances and a goal for Finland under 19s, 1 appearance, 0 goals for Finland under 21s, 14 appearances and 2 goals for England under 21s, and then 1 senior cap for England 2012. Weirdly, he could have been.
You're doubting yourself, doesn't it? You're doubting yourself if you can make it for England. You're then going to Finland.
Yeah, and he could have had England, Finland, or Sweden because his mother was Finnish-Swedish. Jenkins is a boyhood Arsenal fan and attended matches with his father and brother. Didn't work out. No sentiment there. That's it in his personal life. Not too much going on. I
wouldn't put him down as Mr. Exciting.
No, I wouldn't. And you were correct. Everything was Premier League until Birmingham, and then it was Championship. Other than Charlton was League One. Yeah. But both of his loans to West Ham were in the Premier League. So.
He strikes me as an okay. He strikes me like a Chris Gunter. Chris Gunter got a move to Spurs.
Yeah.
Wasn't good enough, but he strikes me as just a decent kind of solid Championship fullback. But I'm not sure why it's not. If any Nottingham Forest fans listening, why is it not working out for him? What's the issue? Is it injuries? Is it different managers? Is it just not good enough? What's the story? Morning.
Yeah. So his West Ham loan got cut short, the second one, because of cruciate ligament, so they just sent him back to Arsenal. So it might be playing on him consistently, or as you said earlier, he might just be terrible still.
Maybe.
But excellent stuff. So well done, Josh, for getting the wiki file. It wasn't easy. They are generally a little bit easier when they're still playing, but I
wasn't aware it was at Nottingham Forest. I think it was more of a Charlton to Arsenal. It's not a well-trodden path.
No.
Like Arsenal signing players from a league club, English league club. So
but very, very good, Josh. So have we got any other business, or are we calling it there?
I'm calling it there. Yeah, we've got a weekend of football to look forward to. I mean, for some fans, it's to look forward to. For others, maybe daunting it. I don't know.
Which bracket do you fall into?
Yeah, I just think I'll just probably avoid it. Yeah.
So, that brings an end to this week's podcast. So, thank you very much for listening. And if you've been with us live on YouTube, thank you for your questions and your comments. If you want to get hold of us before next week's show, you can find us on Twitter at Football Talk. But remember,
there's no way in football.
Not. So, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next week, back on Sunday, back to normal times. We'll see you then. For now, we're out. Cheers.